Hello, everybody. Welcome back to WWTF. We want the Facts of Game Show on Mike C.
And I'm Fred White.
Hey, we're talking to you today about something that happened in the news recently.
Yeah, we all live in the DMV, which is Maryland, D.C., and Virginia. Mm-hmm. And something real tragic happened to a gentleman by the name of Jason Goolsby. Mm-hmm. He was walking to the ATM, and he held the door open for a female, which was a white female, and the white female called the police on him and said that she was in fear of her life because she thought she was going to get robbed. Mm-hmm. Now, today to discuss this with us, again, welcome back to the show, Harold.
Hello.
Okay. Now, Harold, you saw the video. Well, before we start talking about this topic, I'm just going to go ahead and show you a little bit of video that we found on the internet, and here you go.
Get off him, cause he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing.
Behind your back. Stop resisting and put your hands behind your back.
He never resisted. He didn't do nothing.
Behind your back, sir.
He didn't do nothing. He never resisted.
Take my beef. Mike, take my stuff, man.
I'm gonna get
back up.
I'm trying to
back up right now.
Back up. Hey, Mike,
back up.
I'm backing up. I'm backing up.
As you can see, this video is very disturbing. Harold, weigh in on that, please.
Okay, from my understanding, obviously, the woman said that she feared for her life. Now, from what I gather from this, the woman obviously has some issues with black people, so that's why she did it. Now, the second thing, I know we haven't touched it yet, but, you know, the cops are arresting him or detaining him in a violent manner. Well, here's the thing. When a cop asks you to stop the first time, you stop. And apparently he didn't. And when it sucks, but the cops have the law. And, you know, if they're asking, if they just want to ask you a question and you're running away, you know, that's going to cause problems. And, you know, do I think they overdid the arrest? I think if he would have stopped and talked to the police instead of trying to go the other way, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you halfway through that. The only thing with that is that, you know, the young black males are getting harassed and even killed by police officers. So I can understand his frustration by not wanting to stop for the police, because if I didn't do anything wrong, I'm not stopping. Just like when I walk out of Target and the little security guard asks me, let me check your receipt. I'm telling you no. If I took something out of here, you should have caught me on camera instead of trying to frisk me at the door. It's a little bit too late. But I understand the point where you're coming from. It's just a tragic situation. And it's, in my opinion, it's teaching even males, black or white, not to be courteous and kindful and generous. Opening up simply just opening up the door for somebody.
And actually, because she had a stroller that he actually, you know what I'm saying, opened up the door for this lady. So
it talks about a civil suit, you know, possible. He probably has a civil suit against that woman for calling the police on him. I will give him that. With the police department, no, I don't believe he has anything on that. But, you know, the woman obviously had a racist bias to be able to call the police just for him opening the door, you know. And if there's more to it, I mean, we only know what the media is telling us. And as we all know with the media, they will change the facts to cause controversy, because controversy creates ratings, ratings create viewers, and that creates cash.
Yeah, I agree with you on that too, Harold. So until all the facts come out, I guess we really can't say yeah or no on it. But as far as what's been going on in the news now, everybody got in the mindset on how everybody's being treated as far as the color of their skin. So there is leniency towards one color and not another. So you see it, you know it. It's been happening for a long time. It's still happening now. So we just got to change stuff, man.
And I'll tell you an incident that I ran into when I was first starting to ride motorcycles in Washington, D.C. The time when I was riding bikes real heavily with the crew that I was in, we would post up down Georgetown at the McDonald's. And that's where all the bikers was at. You know, you went down there, you drove around the city, and then everybody just posted up at the McDonald's down Georgetown. You know what I'm saying? Just to chill out and find out where we was going to go next. The thing with that was that the females or the young ladies that was coming to the university, they were told not to mess with the bikers down Georgetown because we were rude and all this other stuff, right? And I can remember one incident that I was in where I was standing by the door, by the McDonald's, and I was actually coming out. And I held the door open for this lady to walk in, you know, as I was trained to do as a child. You know, you be courteous.
Right.
You think this lady said thank you or, you know, anything for holding up the door for? And since that's when I just stopped. I just stopped. When I was down Georgetown, you know, if I was coming out and I seen some young ladies walking in, I wouldn't even open up the door. Because we had that reputation as being these bad biker dudes, and you wouldn't even say thank you. I mean, now, of course, like when I go in the stores, even if I see a guy coming in, about to come in the store, I will hold the door open for him just out of common courtesy. Especially if I see an elderly woman.
Most definitely.
Just open up the door, just common courtesy.
Right.
But this, I think what we can agree on about this situation is that the lady that called the police on this guy, she was totally ignorant.
Yeah, she was.
She was.
Yeah. You're a fool. I hope you're watching this program. You are absolutely 100% a fool for thinking that just this guy that's opening up the door for you has intentions to rob you. You know, I mean, be safe. You know, be safe with your child. I get that. You know, look out and, you know, care for your child and all that when you're out. But this guy, you know, if he just held the door open for you and you walked out and you was maybe like a block away, why are you still in fear? You know, of your that he's gonna come back and rob you. You know, I mean, it was just totally ignorant. And the police, you know, like Harold said, we don't know what transpired throughout this, but they have the reputation now of not being able to be trusted, at least by the African American community.
It does happen to white people too, but here's the thing. You don't hear about it. You only hear about the ones that happen to the black people. That's, like I said, that's what the media wants. And, you know, it does happen to white people. We just don't hear about it.
Very, very rarely. Like, I can bring up two instances. The thing between Bill Cosby and Jared Fogle. You hearing everything about Bill Cosby. Now, as I said before, if he did it, throw him under the jail, right? But you're not hearing anything from Jared Fogle. You know, what he did was a crime, and he got caught. There was evidence, but there's nothing coming out. Also, with Davis Rosenberger, whatever his name is, and my man Vic, you're still committing him to death about this dog situation. They don't want him in Pittsburgh, but yet you want to keep a guy on your team that has raped underage females. You know, and you can say that, you know, it's not a black and white thing, but we all know that it is. If Michael Vick was a white guy and he did this to these dogs, or allegedly did this to his dogs, or his cousin, which was the guy that did this to these dogs, you wouldn't hear him in the news. And what's this other guy that deflated the balls?
Tom Brady. Well, it was with Tom Brady, but it was supposedly one of the, you know, ball handlers or whatnot.
Yeah. I was like, come on, man. Come on, man.
And Tom Brady went to the commission and said, look, dog, I'm not going to get suspended. I'm not doing this, but this is what I'm going to do. And the commission was like, okay. You know, and man. I mean, if that was me, and I was like, look, man, I'm not going to sit up. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? I'd have been up out of there, man. Right. But, you know, getting back to this young guy that this tragic thing happened in D.C., man, it's a terrible thing that happened. We don't know the full story, but from what it looks like, Harold, is he looking at a big payday for this when it comes down to it?
that's something I'm not an expert in, so yeah, it's hard to even speculate that. He anything could happen with the way people throw in laws, throw out laws, and that's pretty much all I can actually say on that.
I just hope that the police and the community, black and white, forms a better bond, because right now everything is broken.
It really is.
It was once upon a time in our age group, and I think all of us can agree on that, is when we were kids, when you was in school, and the teacher say, well, what do you want to be when you grew up? Policeman was in that category. Yeah, policeman, firefighter, a doctor,
a lawyer. Yep. And
right now, man, when you ask a person what do you want to be when you grow up nowadays, kids, police is not even one of them. Exactly. I mean, very few. There are some that might say that they want to be a policeman, but it's not as much as when we were growing up. And we got asked that question because, when we was learning our alphabets, P stood for policeman.
Right.
And you can just color them in and all this other stuff. But this racial tension has to stop.
It really does. Because it's reaching a massive boiling point. So it's either going to break or bend, man. So we'll see.
Yeah. And our prayers go out to this guy. And I hope you get justice. And I hope everything comes out. And we just wanted to give these people that's going through this stuff justice for these incidents with the police. And please, police officers, if you're looking at this, episode, please bond better friendships and communication with your community. And don't separate us by color or gender, because females get it too, white and black. And males get it too, young white males and young black males, they get it too. It's just young people get it too. The perception that the police have of young people is not
bad.
Where it's at.
It's bad. It's really bad. So, and their job as policemen is to protect and serve. So, we pay their tax. We pay their checks. So, they're here for actually us, for our safety and everything like that. Doesn't look like it, but that's what their whole reasoning of being is. So,
and I'm not looking to give them a raise anytime soon.
All right.
But your final thoughts on this, or your final comments on this, Harold?
I just hope everything works out in favor of those who are wrong, but police do need to have a better way of communicating with the public, regardless of race and everything, because police are very aggressive with demands. They like to have what I like to call God mode sometimes, where they feel like they're above you. They're not above the law. They're there to enforce the law. But then again, at the same time, I see this from, like I said, all races. When a police officer, if they suspect something's going on, they need to question people. And if somebody's innocent people don't run away. I'm not saying this guy did anything wrong, but maybe if he would have stopped to answer a question, what happened in the video could have been prevented.
True that. But that's all the time we have for the show. But again, we want to thank Harold. Thanks for coming on, man, to talk about this topic.
No problem, guys. Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time on WWTF. We want the facts.
The Gamer Show. See you guys next time.